The story behind Ashlar Hall is something quite interesting. As you look at this castle-like building, you start to think to yourself, what happened here? Or what's the story behind this place? Hi, I'm Zach and welcome to Rooted Expeditions. Today we will be diving into the history this mansion holds, from originally being built as a home for a man and his family to a man who claimed to be an alien. Yes, you heard me, an alien. But we will get into that in just a moment. This castle that was built and left to decay has finally found an owner worthy enough to take on the task to bring it back to life. With odds that might seem too difficult to face, this new owner proved that what many said was impossible was made possible by one man's dream, which became a reality. Stick around to find out what happened. Hit that thumbs up and let's take a look into the events that shaped this building today. Built in 1896, this 11,000 square foot mock castle sits in Memphis, Tennessee on 7 acres at the time, and the home was built for a successful and well-respected real estate developer by the name of Robert Snowden. The mansion, when it was finally built, cost Robert about $25,000, which is about $725,000 in today's dollars. The mansion is 2 stories, which this building also includes a basement and an attic, which was used for the servants' quarters. Robert named the castle Ashlar Hall, which the name Ashlar came from the ashlar stone that was used for the home. The stone was barged in from Indiana and set in place by masons from Nashville. Robert would live in the home until his death in 1942. The home would be passed down to his children, but the upkeep of the home seemed to be too much for the family. Then, only 5 years later, in 1957, the property was sold when his wife Sarah died. Investors in the city would purchase the home and its 7 acres. They would start to sell off the land around the home and where it sat on for about $50,000 an acre. The land would sell and high-rise apartment buildings would be constructed to the east and to the west of this mansion. Ashlar Hall itself at one point was thought to be on its way to being demolished, since all the land was selling, but it was saved when the Ashlar Hall was purchased to be used as a restaurant. The home would be transformed to accommodate the restaurant, which they would name it the Ashlar Hall Restaurant. Then in 1983, the mansion would be added to the National Register of Historic Places. The building continued as a restaurant until the 1990s, when it was purchased by the man who went by the name of Prince Mongo. This man, whose real name is Robert Hodges, claimed to be a 333-year-old prince from the planet Zambodia. He says he was sent by Zambodian spirits to protect the city from natural disasters. He would dress up in this strange outfit and he would wear this long blonde wig along with his stump punk goggles, and he would always run for mayor but would never get enough votes to win. He would turn the restaurant into a nightclub in the early 1990s, which the castle would become well known by many people in the area by the wild and crazy parties they would have. Police were constantly being called out by neighbors complaining because of the loud noises. People would be found skinny dipping in the club's pool. There were even many reports of underage drinking going on at the club, which, by the way, would cause many problems for Mongo. Due to the amount of complaints, the fire marshal would change the nightclub's occupancy inside the castle from 451 to 88. When this happened, Mongo, to get even, would end up dumping about 800 tons of sand in the parking lot to move the party outside. That's a lot of sand. Moving on. This would not last long, as Mongo seemed to face many problems with the city and had no choice but to shut down the castle for good. The mansion would sit abandoned for many years, decaying away. That's until 2016, when a new owner came in, Juan Montoya. Juan, his wife, and his 2 daughters had moved from Colombia to come to the United States in the early 2000s. He would end up having 2 more children in Memphis, Tennessee, where they live. Juan was a hard and very successful man. He would work for a construction company in Memphis. Then shortly after, while working for this construction company, he would start investing in properties. While working around town, Juan would always drive by Ashlar Hall and would be amazed and would say that one day he was going to own it. He had this vision that it could be more than what it was. While looking at this abandoned and decaying building, he would say that he wanted to remodel and bring this castle-like structure back to life. And in 2016, his dream of owning this property became a reality. when Juan Montoya bought this property for $59,000. That's not including all the taxes and legal fees that came with the property. His plan was to spend about $400,000 to make this mansion fit and ready to open, but so far he has spent close to $1 million to get it into the condition it is now. They spent about $80,000 alone to just fix the stones that needed to be replaced. The castle today sits with 19 rooms, 7 bathrooms, and is over 11,000 square feet. That's a pretty big building. Juan has already made progress in repairing the structure. He believes after the repairs and renovation is done, the building can serve as an event venue. Juan has done a lot of work himself, but has also hired help in hopes to get this place up and open by the end of this year in 2022. I had the privilege to explore Ashlar Hall and meet Juan and his eldest daughter Ingrid, who is helping him with this location. The building has already made a huge leap in its appearance from where it once stood. The community had their doubts about the building being completed in the beginning, but now since so much progress has been made and people have seen how much hard work Juan has put into this place, he has gained a lot of respect and support from the community. I look forward to seeing what this building will look like once it's finished and open to the public. What do you think? If you would like to see this place, I will leave information in the description below. Here's a little bit of history for you. Hit that thumbs up. Peace, I love you, and as always, God bless.